Hello, hello. How's it going, friends? I'm on beautiful Sand Dollar Beach right behind me here. Sand Dollar Beach. I am in Georgetown, Exumas, Bahamas, planet Earth. It is another country, but it feels like a different planet here. So it's been a long time. Hello. That right there is, oh, right there, Vito Pizza Boat. Pizza boat, I found a pizza boat. And they're a super sweet family that we're all working together here today. So there's Vito Pizza and there's Biddy Rose. Biddy Rose is going to be hosting a Dinghy concert today. I suppose I could just play right off of Electric Mermaid, but that's a fancy catamaran, and they're like, oh, let's do it. So yeah, let's see. I guess I'm gonna start with the good, the bad, the ugly. What do you want to know? All right, so let me see. I'll just recap. So I've been in Georgetown for about a week. So I got this iffy weather window. I mean, around here it's funny how the weather is, it's just a different weather pattern. You know, you like from New York until here, I went through what, about 20 degrees of latitude. So every and at different times of the year. So everything is kind of different, not only different times of the year, but everywhere you pass. And right over here, it's just, the wind just blows from the east, sometimes southeast, a little bit of northeast. And from where I was before, Staniel Key, then Farmers Key, and Georgetown, it was all just southeast, and that is where the wind generally blows from. So, you know about sailing, that's the place you can't go, right in front of the wind, you know, toward the wind. If you bear off a little bit, then your sails will catch the wind. But in any case, when the wind is anywhere from the side of the boat, it's great, perfect. But from the front of the boat, it gets a little bit more intense. Strain on the sails, and if there's gonna be, I'm gonna be outside because it's just so nice. I'll be squinting a little. And when I'm going this way, so then my hair blows that way. Yeah, and when you're outside there with all the waves, then the waves are in front of you too, and you're pounding, going up and down, as maybe you have seen some pictures there. So a video that I shared, a little piece of the video, if you click on it, and you see the YouTube. But my new friend Glenn has been working on an edit for making more sense out of the video, and you know, just sharing more things. So I need to actually record a song and send it over to him, but it'll come out great. I was surprised to see what my boat looks like from the outside. I'm like, wow. It was pretty intense because, you know, it's so coming out in the ocean, and actually all the forecasts were saying I would have a little bit of a northeast wind. So northeast, if I'm trying to go southeast, they would be at a beam reach, which is the wind coming, you know, hitting the side of my boat, on the beam of the boat, and that would have been perfect. That would have been great. But now you get out there, the wind was all on the nose, and I was just galloping all day. And but I needed to catch that window because I have been in the Bahamas now for, believe it or not, almost 3 months. Well, actually today's 3 months, because it was February 2nd when I got here. And I needed to go to immigration to request an extension of my visa. So I got the cruising permit, that's customs. cruising permit for my boat for a whole year, but immigration still, they can sometimes give you 3 months or 6 months. So they gave me 3 months, and I went and took care of it in Georgetown. There's Georgetown, and then there would have been a place much further north, maybe 20 miles or so north of where I was, that I could have also taken care of that. Robbie of One Love told me that I could have done that, but I did want to make it to Georgetown eventually, and I wasn't gonna go and lose some ground and then come back south. And so I took whatever window I got, and I think there's not that much better that happens around here. Like I said, the wind is most likely gonna be on your nose. So what a lot of people do sometimes is they don't want any wind at all. They'll just like pick a day with no wind and it just motor through. And while you can island hop from the top of the Exuma chains, the chain until a big way, a long way, almost here. I think there's like an extra, I don't know, maybe 20 miles or so. A little cloud. I hope it does not rain today because we got a Dinghy concert happening. But oh gosh, with my attention, it just goes everywhere. But yeah, anyway, I just took the window and made it happen. Yeah, some people just motor, but that's not an option for. Oh yeah, so as you're coming down the Exuma chain, you can cover most of the inside through the Exuma banks, right? Because then it's like, not too deep at all. The water is not that deep. It's just a giant sandbank. It can get pretty hairy, especially if the wind comes from the west, because you have in the Exuma chains like a huge protection from the east. So if if there's an east wind and you can go through the banks, it's perfect, because then you're just sailing on flat waters, or relatively flat waters. But as the moment you hop outside of the Exuma Sound, that's where, if you're having the east wind coming from there, then the waves do build. And I don't know, I can't tell. I haven't learned how to judge size of waves, but it was some big waves, and it's annoying when they're in front of you. Like they say, the following seas, if the wind was behind me and the waves were behind me, that's beautiful. I love that. Everybody, some boats actually don't, because they kind of lose steering if the wave is behind them, but my boat loves it. And that's not what we had. But yeah, made it here. And Georgetown is like, oh gosh, it's like, I don't know, maybe like a hippie community on water, the cruisers here. It takes a lot to get here. It's super remote, and a lot of people just come here and stay because there are some good spots with a good amount of protection from everywhere. It's not like they're like some hurricane holes in here, which are kind of all taken up by moorings. And but Elizabeth Harbor, if the wind is then veering off, you can just go to the other side of the island and get the protection from those winds. But most of the time, wind just comes from the east, which is right over there. So this morning, I moved the boat. I was at Chat and Chill. Essa cidade fica perto do aeroporto. My mom wants me to go back to the US. Por que você quer saber se eu vou para os Estados Unidos? Eu tô aqui, acabei de chegar. Mas sim, tem avião aqui bem pertinho. Todas as ilhas aqui tem aeroporto. Não todas, né? Tem várias que tem. Aqui tem também. So yes, there are airports. There are airports here in Georgetown. Flights many places. So on that note, I would say friends have been saying, "No, I want to visit" and all that stuff. I'll be hanging out here for a while, so make your plans to come to Georgetown. And I have a very tiny boat. You probably can all not fit in here. It's like it's perfect for, you know, a very close friend or a significant other, but it's not something that you'd be. I mean, there are people who do it. My hippie friends here that managed to fit a few friends. No, like 2 friends at most, I guess, on boats that are this tiny. But also I have 2 guitars, an amplifier, and all that stuff, so it does make it extra crowded. And marbles, of course. You want to see Mr. Marbles? Let's see if we can switch it. Okay, so now you're gonna see, oh, my very messy cabin, and I'll tell you why it's extra messy too. Hi, baby. How's it going, boo? You wanna say hello to Facebook? How's he living? Yeah. And I've been brushing him. He's just going, I don't know if it's the warmer weather coming through, but he seems to be a little extra shady. So, oh yeah, let me show you this huge bag of clothes. Oh, yesterday, wait, that's my bedroom. Clothes hanging. So yeah, I still have like clothes hanging in places because Marbles loves, oh yeah, okay, here. So here's my, all over the place. So this is the hatch, the only hatch I have on this boat, on top of my bed. And I can see the stars as I'm sleeping. I can wake up just like that, you know. And I can have rain on my head too. And then I gotta come over here and just pop my head, just close it up. Yeah, this is my mosquito net. Oh yeah, my set list for today. I'm getting ready. It's my guitar, but a bunch of clothes right in the middle of everywhere. It's because the hatch there, Marbles found a nice scratch pad, little rubber that seals the hatch. So it was already not so, hey, what's going on, trying to, it was already not great of a seal, but as you know, we're nose diving on those waves out there, as I was hand steering and all, it was just crazy, you know. Waves would just, it was very wet. My bed was very wet. I thought it'd be somewhat wet, but it was very wet. Oh no, no clouds, no clouds. Yeah, for those of you who just tuned in, Betty Rose, super nice couple, Clay and Kate, will be hosting a Dinghy concert today. Electric Mermaid Dinghy concert. And and the pizza boat, Vito Pizza, will be making pizza for us all. So we're all just anchored very close to each other, and we announced it on the net. Oh, another cool piece of news here that, so there's a cruiser's net that is on channel 72 on the VHF radio every day. So I have on 68 now because that's how everybody hails each other here on the harbor. But the on 72 at 8 a.m. there's a cruiser's net, which is so there's a controller, a person who pretty much like reads the script and announces, people announce their departures, their arrivals, trades, anything that they want to trade on their boat, anything they need on their boats, taxi ride share for the airport, all sorts of things, community events, you know. So we announced the Dinghy concert today, and a lot of people come and go here, right? So they don't always have a controller to take care of the net. And yesterday was my first day as being the controller, net controller. So that was really fun. I volunteered, you know, they had some people leaving, and that was really cool. So I said I was the net overlord. It was pretty cool. And yeah, so we announced that we would be here. They were all ready to anchor. Oh my God, this place is just so amazing. All the people you meet, it's fantastic. You have to like really make a conscious effort to step away from the scene or something, because people literally stop by your boat. What? You're not coming over? The girls are gonna like spend some fire tonight on the beach and we're gonna hang out. What? So it's really cool. It's fun stuff. But last night actually I bailed because, let me show you. Oh, it's kind of getting better maybe. There's a little purple toe. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Actually, it's interesting. I really don't know. Sometimes I kick things. I might have built a pretty high pain tolerance here, because sometimes I get hurt and I don't even know what happened until later on. It's like, whoa, that's a bruise. Oh, that hurts. How did that happen? And yeah, I think I might have kicked the shroud. Yeah, I don't know. I think I kicked the shroud. You know, sometimes when I'm pulling up anchor and I'm going back and forth fast, just by passing by the, if you don't know what the shroud is, it's one of the cables that holds my mast up in place. It's this thing here, so it's right in the middle, and a lot of times I kick it. I used to just have the, what do you call the, my Crocs on, because Crocs on the boat are just perfect boat shoes. They're really great, and they protect my toes. But lately I don't know, I'm not wearing just any more shoes. Get out, go near town, like, wow, shoes, oh that's right, I needed shoes. So I haven't been wearing them on a boat, and I think that happened. You know what? I'm gonna go inside because I don't know. Let me know if the wind is too much out here. Okay, what else? Does anybody have any questions? I'm gonna scroll up and see if anybody, okay, my mom asked about the airport. No, okay, cool. If you have any questions, do let me know. I know I wrote some things there in the description. Oh, how's the rudder? Okay, yes, I did write those things just so it'd be like, don't forget to talk about that. So the rudder is amazing. Thankfully, knocks on wood, but the tiller, which is this stick, this piece of wood, I have this elastic here because it just keeps it a little at anchor, a little bit more stable or something. I don't know. So that is the repair, right? This is the tiller. So the tiller goes perfectly in line with the rudder. This, like, over here at the back, there's a post, and it connects to the rudder, which is steering the boat directly, just like that. You know, if I turn it this way, the rudder is going to be like that. If I turn this way, it's going to be like that. That's why some people, you know, just love the tiller, because it's even better so for you to learn to steer a boat, because you can see you're much closer to the relationship of what your steering and your rudder are doing. A lot of times if you have a wheel, you know, I don't know, and there are more moving pieces anyway, but thankfully the rudder, so far so good, it's great. The tiller, yeah, as you know, I picked that weather window, and my friend Glenn decided to come along and come for the hike. So, and he's a great videographer, as I hope you saw there, a piece of the video that he was taking there, because it wasn't easy for him even to stay stable as he was hopping around the waves and, you know, catching the footage. Anyway, so yeah, well, it was a 2-day trip from Staniel Key to here. So the first day, it was super windy, but we're inside the banks. Like, let's just, you know, we can do the banks today and just cover some ground, get to Farmers, and then the next day, the other, now I'm forgetting how many miles, but so we did the to Farmers. As I was approaching there, you know, I'm just, it wasn't that much pressure that I was applying at the moment, but I was just like, just came on my hand. This part just, whoa, okay. And then I have like this piece of this aluminum tube that I got for the for this thing here, for the throttle, for the electric motor. which is, it's in a weird spot. I'm the one who actually picked. This is just the place where the old throttle used to be. I figured it was just mounted in the same place for the electric motor. And so it is here, and but it's kind of down below. I have to, you know, like go down every time, and as I'm looking out. So there's a tube that I still need to make something happen there, but it's gonna be just to make it a little bit longer. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can use that. I could drill a hole inside the piece that stayed and glue, put some, you know, the hose clamps around it, and glue, you know, put some epoxy or something. And you know, and if you're, you know, like when you're, you know, two heads definitely think better than one, right? Greater ideas come up when you're like, for the most part, I guess. But, you know, like when you're telling someone an idea and they don't understand your idea, but they come up with another idea, you know, I guess in this case here ended up being better because he thought that I meant something, and I don't know if you know what I mean. But, yeah, so he actually thought that I was going to cut a piece of the aluminum tubing and put it inside, you know, drill a hole on both ends. I'm like, no, I really would not want to cut this here. And I started going through more stuff, and I found a piece from just leftover of doing the solar arch, stainless steel, and it was a 3/4 inch. It was perfect. Oh, 7/8, sorry, 7/8. And yeah, and then we just put that little piece instead, and he came through some quick setting epoxy, which was great. I had, you know, that was a generous amount that needed, you know, the hollowing out, the stuff. So shout out to Glenn on Silent Running is his vessel. And yeah, that was really cool. So we fixed it, and gosh, with that epoxy and all that stuff, I felt so good about it that you know, I felt confident I was able to just steer, and there was a lot of steering that the next day required me to do. So the autopilot has been, again, you know, I think I might have repaired it definitely over 20 times, no joke. So these auto tillers, they when there's a lot of waves out there, the sea state, they don't like sea state. You know, your boat goes kind of just like, you know, with the waves kind of like this, and the if the little automatic ones, they're too responsive, the little arm just goes trying to compensate and bring you back to the middle, to where the compass is telling them, you know, that you should be. But it forces too much the motor, and different things happen. You know, it's not really made for that, although it did do amazing with other longer passages that I was able to rely on. But I'll show you now my new thing here, which pretty soon I'm going to be posting something about, and try to get other minds together to help me install this. So I bought this wind vane. This part here is gonna go down, and the whole thing goes up, and then there's this part here is the rudder that's gonna go on the water, and the whole thing helps steer the boat and make the boat steering with the wind, not with the compass like the electric one does. So the wind vane, self-steering, it's like a little flag that stays above there. Oh, there's the little flag right here. You adjust your sails, the way, your course and everything, and then oh, somebody's hailing. Okay, and then then you put the vane toward the wind, and then if the boat moves, then the vane is gonna, the wind, is coming from a different place, and it just moves the rudder to that place. It's kind of complicated, but that's pretty much the principle over there. And I'm really looking forward to having a mechanical way of relying on my, self-steering. And people use them both in combination. So the wind vane is better for longer trips, and the electric one here for shorter trips. So yet another shout out to Glenn. Thanks for bringing it from the US to me. I got, he's, one of the friends that, I guess you meet out there through Facebook, and now I saw that he was coming to the US, and didn't even know him, and he totally brought it to me. All right, let me see. Oh, there are other questions. Shoes have always been overrated. Yeah, no joke. On the islands here for sure. Any other questions, my friends? Are there people on that island? Oh yeah, there's a lot of people. This is for the Exumas. This is the busiest spot, Elizabeth Harbor. So if you look on the map there, Georgetown, Exumas, yeah, Stocking Islands, like the chubbier part, I guess, of the Exumas, where there's more land mass here, and yeah, there's definitely there are airports, and there's a lot of Airbnbs, and there are charters too. If any of my friends out there want to reach out and want to visit, I'll try to arrange something if it's not that close of a friend. I mean, y'all hippies, you can sleep in a hammock here too. But it is more expensive to fly into Georgetown. I think that, the cheapest place, most affordable place to fly into the Bahamas, period, would be Nassau, which is now, I'm going to guess, it's over 100 miles from here. So, sorry, but that's not something that I will be doing, to go pick you up over there. It's not like a car ride of 100 miles. Definitely not like a car ride. So, I will be staying put here for a while, and really looking forward to this afternoon with the Dinghy concert. Should be fun out there at Biddy Rose. And with the pizza boat, I've been dreaming of a pizza boat for a long time. There's a pizza boat right next to me. I already pre-ordered. And hi, Muse. Hi, baby. How's it going? How's it going? You having a good day so far? Yeah. It's been so windy, and just recently the wind let out. I mean, we knew it'd be beautiful today. That's why we picked the today for a Dinghy concert. And yeah, I'm gonna start getting ready for later on, but I figured I'd stop by. Am I forgetting anything that I wrote there in the description and I didn't mention? I don't know.
We are inbound towards you. Over.
Yeah, so 6-8, where everybody hails everybody. So then, then you pick a different channel and you go finish your conversation there. Kind of what they should have done. I mean, it's all right. People are have very controversial opinions of what you should do and at what point you should pick a working channel. But anyway, it's definitely a good idea. It's not like people just being, pains in the asses. It's like, so you're on channel like 16, 6-8, everybody is on it. And if you're like a little bit off, like some people are leaving the harbor, it doesn't sound as clear to everybody. So it just comes up as, and I'm like, okay, so, it's okay. Hey, hailing the other. All right. You go one up or down a channel, or you just call the channel number and you pick and you go talk on that one. But most everybody is on 16. You definitely don't want to start a conversation on channel 16 because that's the emergency one. That's everybody. And a lot of businesses will have that on. Marine, you don't have an idea, but so many places that, it could be like an office and they're working, they're all day, and all of a sudden, it's like, don't do that. Just don't, because you really, it could be annoying a lot of people without knowing. So, yeah, but 6-8 is for the area, and there are businesses too that will monitor 6-8. So it's cool to pick another channel. But it was fun. The net yesterday on 72, I was the net overlord. All hail to the net overlord. I was like, it's already going to my head. Cool. Yeah. So Vito Pizza here. I believe they're Argentinian. So between them and myself, we should not talk about soccer since I'm from Brazil. I mean, I couldn't care less about soccer, so I'm sure it would be okay for us to have that conversation. Yeah. What else? Oh, my friend Chris, Dr. Chris of Atlas, already leaving to his place up in Eleuthera this morning, but took a drone shot of my boat last night. I just uploaded as a cover photo. That was so cool. What a treat. That was my first time seeing that view of my boat. And I was sitting up at the bow playing the guitar. If you haven't seen, you gotta zoom in a picture. And that's it. All right, I don't want to make this extra long. If anybody has any other swimming with dolphins. Oh my God. Yes, I forgot that. So yeah, a lot of these places, there's a little bit of grass on the bottom. There's sometimes rocks, this or that, or just other stuff. Is just always a great idea to dive on your anchor. You just, set the anchor and you go and, it's beautiful out. The water's beautiful. It's clear and it's nice. The weather, why not? Go swim and go take a look at the anchor, right? And as I went, we were in a different spot. We were at Chat and Chill before. And Betty Rose, where, the folks I'm going to be on their boat today for the Dinghy concert, we were next to each other over there. And they were like, dolphin, behind your boat. I'm like, oh, what? So I went and swam to them and hung out with them for a while, and they took some videos that, it's kind of like far from their boat, so you see like dolphin and me kind of, in front of it, but the underwater stuff, of course, would have been a lot nicer, but I should have brought the GoPro just even to check on the anchor. I know it's like a cool thing to show anyway, but I didn't have anything. Then I was very close to shore, and this woman had a bunch of kids with her. Some were hers and some were not, and they're French and Belgian. So some of the kids are French, Belgian, and they were all speaking French. And anyway, they came and swam to we were all swimming with the dolphins after a little while, and she's like, I saw you having a moment there. I waited until I told the kids that there were dolphins there. I'm like, oh, thank you. It was so sweet. There was a SV Kumbaya they were on. And she was like, yeah, it was really cool. But then they came all great swimmers. They swam all the way up to behind my boat. We're all hanging out there and swimming with the dolphin, the mama. We're so close. At one point I was just like, I went, really swimming toward them, and her and the baby swam under me. Oh my God. And like someone mentioned there that they do make eye contact, and I did. Like that mama was making eye contact with her. So sweet. Like, yeah. I've seen so many times dolphins, from the outside. Now, that was part of my dream, to swim with wild dolphins. So, I can't wait to do it again. I told him, just come back for dinner. But, I guess that's it. I'm gonna warm up the vocal cords and the fingers and all, and just be ready. I picked the concert at 1 p.m. today because I don't drink before singing or playing. I like not to, like, I have fun, drinking and playing, but I know that my audience would probably suffer a little bit. Maybe some lyrics get mixed up, and if I'm drinking and I just, I'm at a campfire, whatnot, a lot of times I don't even finish the songs and just start whatever, laughing, talking to people. Anyway, so for playing a gig, I don't. And it'll be nice to, just make it at 1 p.m. so then I can go and enjoy the party after I get to play, and be able to have a drink or two after. But it's I end up having more musical fun when I don't drink, because then I can tell, like, just being quicker on my reflex and getting, I don't know, maybe some people get good at it, get better, and just get used to all the drinking. I just find that my performance in general is better if I don't drink. So I'm like, let's do a 1 p.m. concert, so then I can get down with you all later. And yep, so that's what, and it's a lunchtime concert too, with the pizza boat right next to us. Come on, I can't wait. Oh shoot, I should have announced on the net, asked if anybody has a drone for today, because my friend Chris was just here yesterday. He left today. Yeah, that'd be cool to get a drone picture of the Dinghy concert. So yeah, my friends, I guess that brings us to the end of this rambling Electric Mermaid news. Unless anybody wants to know anything else. Oh yeah, so all the that's the other thing. The wet clothes. So coming here from Georgetown, right? My hatch completely not great sealing, not great seal. Seal of the water, coming through my only hatch that's on top of my bed. I even put like some plastic and some different things, some other towels, like some other absorbent things. Like, there's somewhat of a preparation that I did, of course, to go to ocean, and knowing that some water would get in, and keep it off the bed as much as possible. But I didn't realize how off the every single weather forecast was, saying that I was going to have northeast wind. And no, it was east, which, if I'm trying to go southeast, it was on my nose. And it was a decent amount. It was gusting in the 20s for sure. So there was a lot of water that came through, and I thought, so half of my, so I put a bunch of stuff away and I dried them out as soon as I got here. Like, it just hung up everywhere. I mean, as far as drying stuff here, gosh, that's no problem. You just hang something in like a half hour, everything is dry. So I dried that out, but with the salt water, things don't quite dry. There's a little bit of moisture there that stays. And especially cotton. Like, if you're planning to cruise and do stuff, I love cotton, love the feel of it, but don't bring any cotton. Just like, unless you really, really love it, and keep it like in Ziploc bags or something, because the minimum amount that water gets, it absorbs and it keeps all that. So there was salt water, and I was getting ready. So I put all my laundry in a cockpit, in a giant bag. And we had like some sort of surprise rain overnight, just before I was going to wait a couple days to do it. Anyway, so I did it all. I did it all finally yesterday. But then I went back, and, I've been in Georgetown for a week today. And I just finally did the laundry yesterday, but I had dried those clothes original, so those were okay. But now the rest of my bag, I didn't realize there was some water that came in from behind and somehow seeped through my the plastic bag I have around all my clothes. And so a lot of clothes, more like the other half of everything I have here, got soaking wet, and that was a little smelly. So I have just things still kind of hanging around the boat, and it's over there. Anyway, yeah, I know it like a lot of times it just looks like I'm on permanent vacation, and sometimes it does feel like a day like today definitely feels like that, but it's a lot of work, my friends. It's a lot of work. It's an adventure, it's not necessarily like it's a vacation. So it's an adventure, and like when I got here was just before the wind was going to be really, really blowy for a few days, and it ended up being like 4, even I don't know, 5 days. They just kind of mellowed out yesterday, finally. So we were bouncing around, and it just makes it a day like today so much more of a, you know, a treasure to you know, something to be cherished, because and it makes you appreciate even more a day like today, for sure, because you know, it was all hell breaking loose. I mean, Marbles loves to stay out on deck all night. That's his jam. You know, I have the hatch either all the way open like it is now, or I put a little something that he can go through. I mean, he can definitely, you know, this is always open, so he goes around and around. He does his jogging in the middle of the night over there. But when it's super bouncy and, you know, the wind's just howling and we're moving too much, he doesn't. He's very smart. He doesn't stay on deck. He just comes and curls up with me in bed. Or goes, if it's really, really bad, then he goes all the way aft, which is the back of the boat, you know, toward the back of the boat. And we have that cabin over there. So he passes on the guitar and amp and all that stuff. And that's the part of the boat that moves the least in pretty much every boat. That's the back of the boat. So that's why a lot of people have their cabins just aft. And since I have no windows over there, I even tried putting my bed there when I was first in New York. Oh, this is gotta be nice, but no, I really, really, like, oh my God, this is like when I first got this boat, this was one of my first most wonderful features to look forward to, you know, my new life here, to just have, I sleep under the stars every night, and I get to work on no tan lines here to in my own privacy of my, you know, just lay in bed and hang out in the sun. So yeah, it's all fun stuff. No, not all fun stuff. A lot of times it's very hard. But then you get to enjoy days like this. Oh, look at my garden. So I'm growing. Yeah, I'm growing. It's sweet oak grass and catnip for Marbles. Because when he was a outdoor cat, he used to eat a lot of grass. You know, it's nice when you let cats eat grass. So I just planted some here and it's going well. All right, my loves. I guess that was it. Let me scroll and see if anybody has any other questions. No? Well, thank you everybody for watching and hanging out with me this morning. I will, I guess, post some pictures or videos of the Dinghy concert later this afternoon, if anybody takes any. And yeah, cheers.